Welcome to another fun-filled episode of Black Opinions Matter, motherfucker. My name's Amin Hassan, joined as always by Big Jerv, and we welcome back Black Trey. Uh, got a great show for you today. P-Valleys, Flatbush Misdemeanors. As you can tell from my voice, I'm in Las Vegas, and I am tired as hell. I've been at the NABJ convention. That's the National Association of Black Journalists. The NAHJ, the Hispanic journalists, had their convention here at the same time as well. So it was one big happy celebration. I am worn the fuck out, ladies and gentlemen. Trey went to the Kendrick Lamar show. He's going to give us an update on that as well. But first, patreon.com/count the things is where you go for all the extra content, the overflow episodes, the watch alongs, the Discord, and so much more. Make sure you are subscribed, patreon.com/count the things, and getting all that extra exclusive content. I do want to start a place that's a little bit more serious, a little bit more somber. For those of you that have been listening for the last couple of weeks, Trey hasn't been in here because he's been with his mother, who was the victim of gun violence a few weeks ago in back home in California. Trey, you went back home and basically looked after her and helped her transition from the hospital back home. We haven't talked about it at all, out of respect for you, and we wanted to wait for you to be back and see if you were comfortable talking about it. So anything you want to update the people and let them know how your mom is doing, we'd appreciate it.
Yeah, man. Thank you. I seen every message. I seen every post. I really appreciate it. I know it was like random as fuck, especially to say that shit. I remember even when I sent the chat like a text to the group chat that she got shot. It just caught people off guard, especially when it's so close to home. We see mass shootings, we see shootings and things of that nature. Out of respect of the case, I'm not going to get too much into details, but I will say my mom was at the park and she heard gunshots and tried to, her first nature, my mom is a very nurturing woman as far as like, she just cares a lot about people. And the first thing that came to mind was the children. And I think if that's y'all kids out there or my cousins or whoever, she just going second nature, just go after the kids. So her trying to cover the kids, she got shot in the process. As far as the details, she was shot by AK-47. She shattered her elbow. Also was shot in like the back arm, so she was shot twice. But with I don't know if the listeners know about how guns are and the bullets, that rips you apart. And, she's a very tough woman. Like I said, she shattered her elbow. So she had to get 16 pins in her arm. And we just slowly just taking it one day at a time. The first 2 days was really difficult in the hospital, just trying to, the pain level, especially when you see like a family member, you can't do anything for it and you think like medicine, and just being really honest about it. Like my mom was she was battling addiction for 20 plus years, so most of the pain meds are addictive. So just her having to tough it out and not take the pain meds, was commendable and admirable, to try to withstand the pain and not also trigger some shit from the past that she's worked so hard for. But yeah, man, outside of that, man, we blessed. I talk about my mom all the time, and, our relationship has been growing and stuff like that. And she back outside doing her thing, man, with her sling on, and in good spirits. I think the thing that make her happy is being able to cook and shit like that. She really love her job and she not able to work, so that's been fucking with her. Financially, I was able to I'm blessed to be in a position to like take care of her for a couple months and stuff like that. And yeah, I just asked, I told a couple people like, just go pull up on her, man, put a smile on her face when I can't, you know what I'm saying? So I'm back in New York, thinking about her always. And, now it's the process of like mental and physical therapy, you know what I'm saying? Because that was the thing. She was waking up having nightmares thinking that shit was still happening. And it's a lot of anxiety when people get shot. You know what I'm saying? You just think like it's not like the movies where nigga get shot, he tape his shit up and then he back out killing shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like that. You know what I mean? Especially a civilian getting hit. So yeah, man, we just grateful for all the prayers, man. And she gonna be back good as new, man, when you know that time comes. But right now we just taking it easy. Thanks for giving me that platform to express that too.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's kind of, you know, it's a wild occurrence, and it's, you know, like you said, man, it's not like the movies, right? And you know, the hero come out and just keep walking or whatever, and you know, and that's real. Your mom's a hero. She got shot basically trying to protect those who need protection. So, you know, some babies. So she, I don't think it's out of the question or exaggeration to call your mom a hero. But you know, now comes the hard part of trying to just cope with that and live and try to live your life without living in fear. And I, you know, I feel for her, and you know, hope she's doing better, and you know, hope you and everybody else can help her get back to some semblance of normalcy. But man, that's a wild. I remember you sent that message. I got to go back to California, and I was like, what? Like it just didn't see it. It was like it just seemed real, man. It was just like crazy. It was just like I thought I was like hallucinating or whatever. So good to hear that she's doing better.
Yeah, we had recorded earlier. You know what I mean? Like it was a regular day. You know what I'm saying?
That was a Sunday. It was a Sunday.
Yeah, we had recorded. Everything's cool. I'm on the couch watching Shark Week. And then I see a call. Like normally my mom calling at the time and she seen somebody I went to high school with that I ain't gonna fucking remember. No disrespect to my high school friends that listening. But my mom is just always out and about. So I'm thinking like it's a Sunday. She probably ran into somebody like, I got his number. I'll call him right now. Y'all can talk. And I'm like, So some told me to answer. And when I answered, it was not her voice. It was one of her friends saying, screaming into the phone, your mom just got shot. And the idea of like them telling me it, but then disappearing. And now the phone is just to the side and I'm hearing her scream and the ambulance working on her and all that stuff. And they're asking her questions. And she just
this is like as it happened. I thought you meant like they called you in the hospital or something.
Nah, I didn't even know. Like, bro, I was sitting there and I'm just trying to like process, like, for one, where did she get hit? Where are they taking her? Who's around her? That's going to give me the information. But again, it's 8:00 East Coast time. There's only so many flights that go back to California at night. You know what I'm saying? It's like maybe 2 flights that's going back to LA. So I look and it's a 10:45. That's the first thing I think. I'm on hold on one phone. I grab my other phone. I call my aunt and I'm like, yo, you don't have this number. This is Trey. My mom got shot, you know, and then that initial reaction is what? Like, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, look, calm down right now. I need you to go on Facebook and see where she was at, you know, and see if you know anybody that was with her to find out which hospital they're taking her. So all this is going on. I don't have anything. I can't function because I have like less than 45 minutes to get to the airport. So I can't pack. I can't be strategic and do all these other things. And I just booked the next flight out. You know what I'm saying? And I was able to do that. You know, I'm like I said, I'm fortunate to be able to afford that. I know some people that the last thing in their mind sometimes it's just like I get there when I can or whatever. I just dropped everything and you know, just being on that flight for 5 hours, bro, just in my thoughts. Like I didn't know what the fuck's going on. Like where she got hit, the stable condition. I'm getting news that 2 people died. Like shit is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like people not making it. So I'm like, when I land in LA at 1:30 in the morning, I'm not going to obviously be able to visit her because of COVID. And they got just different like lobby hours and shit like that. So I had to wait till the morning. When I seen her, that's when I got all the info from the doctor. And it was crazy because, and that's another.
So you spent the night like not knowing anything.
Yeah, I didn't know anything. Damn. I didn't know. So that's why my messages to y'all was so like broad. You know what I mean? Because like I look back at it and I'm like, maybe this was a bit dramatic knowing the detail of it. But then I was like, fuck, I really didn't know. but just how I am and like
well, hold on. How is it dramatic? Mom got shot, bro. Like this.
I don't get that. I don't get how that's dramatic at all.
No, but I'm sorry. I'm like, I shouldn't be like this, but how I am. In my head, I get calls and shit. I'm like so numb to it and desensitized.
All of your communications with us, I thought you were like remarkably calm. I was the opposite. Like, this
very much
real chill for like some crazy ass shit like that happened.
Yeah, I mean, because I get them type of calls all the time. I mean, now, so it's like I don't know how to feel towards it. And even Don, you know, my boy Don, he's like, "Hey, bro, I don't know what I would have been doing right now. I don't know how you doing it. Like you functioning." Like, you know what I'm saying? I would have needed a break. I would have fell over and cried or some shit. And I'm just like, I'm all she got. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's another thing that I learned in like the past couple weeks. Is like, my mama really ain't got nobody but me. You know what I mean? Like most people get to like, all right, the husband to take care of my dad or my uncle. No, that shit stopped. It was a harsh reality for her too, because she is big on taking care of other people. Niggas disappeared, bro.
Word.
Damn. You know what I'm saying? Crazy. It was like, oh, I gotta work. Oh, I hope she's doing okay. And the thoughts and prayers text became literally thoughts and prayers text. Damn. So it was to a point of like, I gotta feed her. I've never done this shit in my life. I gotta bathe her. I gotta make sure that she's taking this shit. And it's just like, my whole world is just, you know what I'm saying? And it's like one person would be like, oh, of course you would drop everything for your mom. And it's like, well, y'all don't know my relationship. This is the longest I've ever spent with my mom in my life. That's another thing that niggas don't know. Like, it's the longest time I've ever spent with my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like, not to be on like some therapy session, shit, but like it was really,
that's real.
It was the realest perspective ever. Like, oh God, whatever. If you believe in God or whatever, and life lessons, that was the life lesson shit. Because my mom fucked me up. She said, I had dreams of this, but not this soon, hoping that I was good to you enough for you to take care of me.
Damn.
She said, I've been trying since I got clean to impress you and like basically win you over for you to do this later on in life. Jeez. And I'm like,
damn,
I was gonna do this shit regardless. You feel me? Like, I don't know why that's in your head and what type of individuals are out here in this world, but I don't navigate like that.
Yeah, dog. That's the guilt of a parent who felt like she let you down or whatever.
Every time, bro. Every time the doctor come in and they like, you really got a good son. He flew in from New York and this and that. Shit, like I had him at 15. We grew up together. But I ain't raising by myself. I'm gonna be honest. And she started crying. Like, my grandma stepped in and helped. And I'm just sitting there like, you ain't gotta say this shit, and I get it.
Right.
But it's the harsh reality of that shit. And then also thinking as a parent, like, I can't get those years back, and I'm trying my best. And I'm like, bro, I've been forgave you. Like, I just want you to let it go. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not on that type of time. So it was crazy though, because she had like an episode 2. They gave her some oxy, and she didn't know. Oh my God, bro. That shit was like the movies.
That's crazy.
You know how you sit and she was like freaking out, bro. First of all, I'm sitting in a chair, the hospital, like next to the hospital bed. So I'm thinking she's asleep. She says, I hear voices in my head telling me to stop breathing. So she just goes, and I freak out. Because, you know, when the thing is connected, the shit is changing. It's like beep, beep. Then it just flat. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? But it's the drugs kicking in, bro. That just like, she just stopped breathing. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I'm like freaking out. So I'm like, oh, nah. So then she stops. And then she thinks she's talking to my 7-year-old self. So when she's talking to me about my 7-year-old self, I'm sitting there, I'm like, bro, this is it's
damn.
She full on tripping.
She's tripping, bro. She's like, you know, hey, who brought you up here, grandma? My grandma been dead for 15 years, man. She like giving me life lessons now at this point. Like, look, when you get older, don't join no gangs, don't do no drugs. When you graduate from college, I'm gonna be there. I graduated from college twice. She wasn't there. You know what I'm saying? Like I did my graduation by myself.
That's your mom living through her grief, man. And
and it was just unfortunate. It felt sad because I'm like, I'm not mad at you at any of this shit, but like hearing it out loud, I just was like, oh, you know, it was tough, man. It was tough. It was more mental on me because I'm sitting in the hospital for 5-6 hours,
right?
And then like, there's nobody to do a shift with me, and you almost get like Donald had to come get me to eat because I just didn't want to leave her because I knew nobody else was coming,
right?
And that's the fucked up part about it. Like, it's just me and her. I mean, y'all blessed enough to not like put, you know what I mean? Y'all parents are healthy enough that don't have to go into like homes and stuff. But that put me in the idea of like how lonely that shit is, being in a hospital bed or like that shit. I couldn't imagine it. Like somebody not showing up or somebody, you know what I mean? You wake up and you just like, fuck, I'm supposed to be surrounded by love and all this. And I'm calling people like, yo, you know, this is what happened. This is, you know, blah, blah, blah. Y'all can come visit. It was still minimal. It wasn't that many people, bro. Just a lot of, hey, I gotta work, or you know, da 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 da. And I'm just like, that's just a real shit. Yeah. So I was like, look, when you get out of this shit, man, you gotta make some decisions for real.
Reevaluations for sure.
Yeah.
Some reevaluations for sure. Well, damn, man. Well, I'm glad she's feeling better. In a weird way, I'm glad you got to spend that time with her, and I'm sure, you know, like you said, Trey, you never held a grudge or an anger about that through your life, but you could tell now if you didn't know before.
I can't say I didn't. I did.
I'm saying now.
I went to therapy for it. Yeah, I don't want to make it seem like I'm just this.
You've been cool this whole
person.
time. Yeah. No, I guess my thing is this: is like I don't know if you knew that's how she felt.
No,
if you suspected it, did you suspect it at all?
I did suspect it because that was the thing. Because she always tried to like buy me after. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, I can get anything I want. You know what I'm saying? So like you can't really buy me, but like now you're just trying to. Hey, I know you don't have it, and you're still trying to give. Before I can say, oh, my mom did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like you don't have to do that. Like you don't. Like we're. But good.
You not. That's what I'm saying. Now she's had the opportunity to let you know how she feels explicitly, right? And that's like, I hope she comes out of this feeling like a burden has been taken off her.
Well, I got her therapy now, so it's crazy as it took for this to happen. Because it's such a stereotypical thing in our neighborhoods. You know, my mom looked at therapy as like, it's for crazy people. Why would I go? Ain't nothing wrong with you, boy. Why you going to therapy? And I'm like, nigga, I got a fucking dumpster truck of trauma. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think it helped her because niggas was going, I was like, y'all got to give her grace. Like, y'all going too hard on her. Like, this boy done lost his daddy already to gun violence and now you get shot. And they putting pressure on her.
Damn.
And I'm like, y'all don't understand that shit. Like,
what?
Yeah, because it was a lot, man. Because my family just don't know how to communicate like that. It's so tough love. Like, you know, that's why I am how I am. And it's not like, oh, I'm just the toughest nigga walking around. But that's, you know, so I'm learning how to even humanize a lot of shit and be like, it's okay to like smile or do some shit because I've just been taught that way. You know what I'm saying? I've been dealing with funerals and death since I was like 4 years old. So it's like, what's next? This life shit don't stop. You know what I'm saying? And like, I honestly felt exhausted with my mom on that situation because I was like, this is a heavy weight. You know what I mean? And we talking about, and that's another thing, we had to have them uncomfortable conversations of like, if something was to happen, because her surgery was like 6 hours. Do she want to be buried, a funeral, cremation? Like, and that's very cryptic conversation. You know what I mean? Like, you don't never want to have that type of conversations, but I did. And I was like, shit. All right, you want to be cremated? Cool. All right, what else you want? Well, I don't want to be spread in the ocean. I want to be in like some little lockets. And I'm like, nigga, you're alive. Why are we talking about this right now? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not about to, like, you're going to make it through. And that was her first actual major surgery outside of delivering me. So it was a lot, man.
Your mom wants to be put in lockets?
Yeah. like for the family and shit. And I'm just like, you just want to be a part. I'm like, you just want to be a hanging around.
You want to be around?
No fun. Like, you just want to be, you know what I'm saying?
Can't miss anything, yo. Gotta be at everything.
Yeah, she's sick, man. She's sick for that. I was dying laughing.
I actually like that idea.
It's fire though. It's kind of crazy.
That's kind of dope. I feel that. Like, yo, I'm everywhere. Don't worry about it. I'm always gonna be there.
Like me, her sister, like my cousin, like all the immediate close family and shit. She want to be like divided that way. You know what I mean? Lord willing. So, but yeah. Sorry to go deep, listeners, but that's what was going on.
But that's what everyone was curious about. Everyone was asking, how's he doing? How's it going? And I said, man,
can we bossa nova?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, and we're black.
All right. So, glad she's doing okay. Let's transition to more fun stuff. You went to the Kendrick Lamar show.
I did.
Yeah, how was that? Did he do a COVID test on the stage and all that?
He did do the COVID test. He did the COVID test. I think PG Lang is brilliant because they don't use a lot of money. That shit don't cost a lot. The shit, you know how most rappers like, I want the pyrotechnics and I want motherfucker flying. He just had some women dancing. He had some dudes dancing, wardrobe, probably some regular suits. And then that little box that come down and then come up and then some lights. And then he had some like regular effects that you could do on a computer. And it wasn't, he is getting up there. And like I said, thanks to you, I've seen Cole perform. I've never seen Hov live, but I would honestly think like it's at an elite level up there with Beyonce of like channeling the one-to-one shit, right? And I think since the last time I've seen him.
No, I was gonna say, Jerv, you've seen Hov live, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, man. Like, I see him live twice. I saw him once. It was him and Fab at like Comerica Theater in Phoenix, which is about like a 5,000 seater. And then I saw On the Run. I don't think he's that great of a live act.
So I'll say this: I probably have seen Hov probably like 15 times on some shit like that. And I've seen fuck out of here.
That's a lot. I think he's seen it 15 times.
I mean, yo, you got to think about it. I've seen, like, probably the first time I probably saw him was Volume 2.
Albums and shit, right?
Volume 2, yeah. Like I've seen him at like Powerhouse. I've seen him at whatever the Rough Rider Rockefeller tour, whatever that shit was.
The Hard
Knock
Knock
Life tour. The Hard Knock Life tour. I've seen him fucking the R. Kelly tour. I caught the tail end after the alleged pepper spray. So like I got Jay-Z and Friends, you know what I'm saying? Like, so like I also saw the American Gangster tour, right? I mean, I've seen a couple others, right? But they're like all big places. I saw the American Gangster tour and it was in the spot in Philly that's like a standing room only joint called the TLA. And it's probably one of those spots holds maybe 500, something like that, something small like that. Yeah, like one of those intimate ones. And like I'll say, Trey, like he 100% was on some, like locking in with you as a fan. You know what I mean? And I don't know if that's just because that's probably the closest I've ever like actually been to him ever. You know what I mean? Because I'm usually sitting in the back. It's not like I see dude at places that I go. You know what I mean? So I'll say he's gotten way better. But he's not on no motherfucker. I saw Watch the Throne. He's not on no Kanye shit. You know what I mean? Like he's still a 90s rapper.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
give you the arm movements and listen, but he does what the Lox does. He raps. He doesn't. You're not hearing.
He's not performing. Yeah, he's not doing a performance. He like that's what I was thinking about. He's like a 90s ass rapper, man. Like,
but he does his own songs. Like you're not hearing.
You don't hear
like how Dipset did, like you know what I mean. You're not hearing just the regular music and shit.
The reference track beneath it.
Yeah.
And that's what Kendrick does. You know what I'm saying? But I think he had like a ventriloquist. I like didn't understand the direction it was going in. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like almost a theatrical play. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh man,
he's doing shit, then he has somebody in the like silhouette, like almost like him, and he rapping, and the motherfucker got like Cupid shit shot, like arrows in his back, and he rapping, and it's like kind of doing the shit. But that nigga know how to like, just like Cole and Drake, where they like make you feel like
they're not
talking to you. You know what I'm saying? So he knows how to work the stage where he, you know, stop. And then it was to a point where the whole Barclays is just, you know what I mean, for like a minute, 2 minutes straight, just flowing along. And he just like laughing. Then he get back into it and he in his bag and he, and, you know, but overall, that dude is just a flat out. From watching him from Section 80 to now, and then just the evolution of how like good he got. Like, you know what I'm saying? His performances. I watched him at Celebrity Theater, Amin, on 44.
In Phoenix? Yeah,
where the shit revolved.
Circle,
He did it with like, it was a small set. It was not crazy. You know, that venue's not big like that.
Yeah.
And that was before Good Kid, Mad City came out. You know what I'm saying? Right. So watching him do that and him telling this girl I was with at the time, like, hey, I'm gonna be a star. And like, to see him now was like, fuck. Right. Like, and you could attest to, you know, Cole, like seeing him like, oh, I get the mixtape to like, now this nigga got it all. And he is so disciplined and so like a perfectionist to the craft. Shit is so weird. You know what I mean? So after the show, niggas like, you know how it is. Cause I was in the suite. Niggas say, hey, it's an after party at Dumbo House. So I'm like, all right, I'm a slide because it's an after party.
Right.
You know that library area?
Yeah.
Why this nigga sit down and do a show for Hov and Bee?
Oh, for real?
Yes, nigga. So niggas in there, and I'm looking like I'm chilling. I'm in the mix. I'm chilling, but I'm looking like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Hov, like, you know, whatever. Well, I'm like, I'm cool. I ain't even gonna pretend like I want to sit through this. I just sat through 3 hours of the show already.
I just watched.
So I'm not even going. I'm gonna let somebody else rock.
Right.
I get over, bro, and go get my little picante. I'm chilling. I'm just watching everybody huddle up and, you know, record. Why these niggas start fighting on the other end?
Who?
Over some niggas. This nigga fighting over a girl. The nigga grabbed him, bro, and slammed him through a table.
No, I swear to God, I thought you were gonna say they were fighting, like they're trying to get closer.
No,
to the shit, like,
no.
You know, hey, watch out, man! Like, I was here first.
Look at Jerv. Go ahead, Jerv. What you about to say?
Hold on, because we're not just going to just let this brother just tell the story. We have to unpack this shit. So we know this nigga gets off of a plane. He goes into a Kendrick Lamar show, and then awesome, he just ends up and trips up at an after party where fucking Hov and Beyonce are there. But this nigga says, nah, I already saw that show. I'm gonna let somebody else sit down and have the opportunity to experience watching a live performance with Hov and Beyonce, like an intimate performance. This nigga just left the arguably the Michael Jackson of like the world to everyone, and Beyonce was like, nah, yo, I'm cool. Yo, your life, my nigga. Okay, this is it. You have to document every day. Just document every day, dog. Like either this shit is a fucking the Black Seinfeld type shit, and you and or something, bro. Because a show about nothing off of whatever, all the shit about you and everything you experienced. Come on, dog. This nigga just left Beyonce just sitting there.
But Amin probably would do the same thing if he seen Cole already perform. He gonna be like, nigga, why am I gonna sit here for this again?
My nigga Amin's at least want to get a couple like minutes of just being like, damn, she look alright, yo. I know you. You literally just said, I'm good. Like you didn't even like, and I know it. Come on, I know Amin's gonna at least get 5 to 10 minutes, bro.
Oh, I mean, I just looked at it like this, and you know, I've told you before. I've met Hov before. Like it's not like on some shit where I'm like, so I'm like, at this point, I thought it was something different. I'm thinking we about to be the vibes and just like chill and a good, good energy. I didn't want to sit down and watch a nigga perform his whole album. Like it's 12 o'clock, nigga. It's like almost 1. Like I'm not doing no more, bro. So like I see niggas out here like, like trying to record and shit. And I'm like, bro, you got it. Like
I ain't saying record. No, I know by all means I'm not going to record because I just feel like somebody would like. Even if I did, like, I'd be the person that they just turn around and peep and be like, "Yo, dog, get off my dick, turn the camera off," and I'm like, "Oh my god, like, no, please don't talk to me that way." Now, oh, this is crazy.
Well, it's just like Kanye saying he's embarrassed to, like, I mean, who said it? No, was it Cole? Say he was embarrassed to pull his phone out. Like, in them type of situations, I don't see Kendrick as Kendrick. I just see him as Kenny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
I think what Jerv is referring to more is the Beyonce piece. Like,
I mean, out of respect, I mean, like I said, like so Beyonce. It wasn't normal, but it was like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do?
Jerv, it was the same scenario, but instead of Hov and Bee, it was like, I don't know, Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. Like, you wouldn't give a shit. Like,
no, I wouldn't give a shit at all. Like, I understand. Like, all right. I mean, here's the thing. I've never seen her in person either. I probably would be like, damn, I'd have to be there for like a couple minutes and then I'd dip.
Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. I've been in the same building as them before, so it wasn't like,
I don't care, bro. Anybody, she's in the building, you at least gotta just soak that shit in. It ain't like you gonna see her again tomorrow on Friday. I mean, I don't know. The way your shit be going,
but if you look at my stories, that shit sometimes be like, Amin's been with me too on some random shit where we niggas be like, oh well, nigga, you know that nigga? Yeah, you know, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I didn't plan on going to the show. Niggas was like, oh, I forgot you live in New York. Man, I got you, bro. That's what it was on. I wasn't even really tripping because I went to some other shit way before that. Like, I was chilling with the homie. So actually going to the show, and I don't want the listeners to be think I'm just it's not a big deal, but it was so much going on. And that library is so small. I didn't want niggas to be like, you know how you like nigga pan by and you're like, is that Trey? I don't want that type of attention where a nigga's just sitting like, this nigga just casually sitting with Hov and shit. Like, it was late. Like, I got my tote bag with me. I'm like, I'm low-key tired, bro. I'm just sitting there like,
not the tote bag. Cool.
And
niggas everywhere with that tote bag, man.
And
just came from Whole Foods.
And niggas are secretly recording Hov, bro. Like, Hov's just trying to catch a vibe. He's just trying to catch. He's just sitting there, just a fan of the music, bro. And niggas is like,
which is funny because isn't there an embargo on
photos? No photos, no video. So I'm just trying to sit
there. Niggas like, risking it all.
And niggas in here like,
niggas risking it all for a sneak peek.
Like, nigga, that's Beyonce, nigga, look. On FaceTime and shit, like, nigga, look. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, bro, what we doing here?
Let me ask you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So imagine yourself what I would consider a typical American who does not get to just be around whomever on a Tuesday, right? Imagine yourself just be that type of person.
Mm-hmm.
If your lady or if your significant other is a fucking huge fan of Beyonce, right? And you're not, and would you is it acceptable for that person to risk it all to show their significant other so they can get a glimpse? Is that acceptable?
Yeah, I would just introduce them if I had the opportunity. I mean, I would be like, hey, you want to meet him? And most of the time when I do say shit like that, it's like, no. Because they don't know what to fucking say. So they just rather just be there and be shook like, oh, like, you know what I mean? It's like, bro, they're just like us. They're humans. But I get the celeb. I get it. I understand. Like, it's life-changing for a lot of people. But I've been around so much bullshit in like almost 20 years now. It's to a point of like, I remember the one time I got hyped over fucking Darren Williams, bro. And the homies was like, stop acting like a groupie. And it ruined it. It ruined it. I can never go back, bro. That moment killed everything for me.
I'm not gonna lie, that would probably ruin it for me forever too. Like,
it ruined it for me, bro.
The fact that it's by the way, the fact that it's Darren Williams makes it so much funnier.
Like, because at that time I was like, it was a person like I really modeled my game around. I wanted to play like the nigga, and he casually just walks up to the car.
Hold on, Trey. You a little skinny nigga. How could you model your game? His whole game is being bigger than everybody.
But he's aggressive. Like, I can dunk though. Like I used to finish at the rim type shit. I mean, I ain't gonna be doing no shit like this, but I used to, his
the aggressive shit. I got it.
I just liked his style of play, and I didn't like Chris Paul, and I liked that he used to bust Chris Paul ass. So it was just so many other things. Like even my bicep tats are like Darren Williams. That like my first little shits. Yeah, like I was really a fan, bro.
Yo.
So
cue the Michael Jordan meme,
right? It's fucking. I was dick eating. I was dick eating, man.
Yeah. It's a reminder. I got banned in my chat for 24 hours.
Shit is crazy. But yeah, no. What happened was after that, I never like got excited about it ever again, and it sucks because I wish I still was like innocent enough to like enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like even when I met Hov, I called Don and was like, "Nigga, I just met Hov." He was like, "Of course you would, nigga." Like. Because it's how Jerv looks at it. Nigga, I was kicking it with Spike Lee one day, and I'm like, nigga, what the fuck am I like in my head? I'm
nigga,
like,
I remember when you told me the story about the Spike Lee shit, and I'm like, why are you so chill on this? Like, I get it, but like, yo, you literally were kicking it with one of the greatest minds in that field ever, and you just like, yeah, man, you know, it's all good. Yeah, I mean, we was chilling.
We had fucking duck confit. and just fucking talk, bro, about the Knicks.
That's like when Jerv went to see Steve Stout.
Oh my god, yo! I'd never seen that shit before. I was just standing there in awe, like, yo, this is the wildest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. The lotion story, right?
Lotion in the feet.
Yeah, somebody, and I was just like, holy, like. That's your job. Like, that's what you got to do. Nah, I can't do that, dog. I mean, hey, listen, I thought it was. I mean, it's fly. If that's your life. Like, yeah, dog. Like, I mean, you live in your raps. I get it. Like, I don't think I could do that. I'm cool. I can do that part.
I mean, I wouldn't self-proclaim the most interesting man, but I do think that like I don't understand what God's plans is for me and why shit just be happening sometimes, but it be happening. And I feel like I'll be in the right place at the right time sometimes. Like that's all I could honestly say. I
would agree with you, my brother.
Because I just don't. You know what I mean? And like I end up getting cool with these people. Like it's not like I'm initially like, oh, I need to be in this spot or this. You know what I mean? I don't look for it. I just be like, nigga, I went outside. Like even when I met Tom Sachs, nigga, that shit wasn't like hoping like, oh, I'll meet this nigga. Like half the time artists don't go to their own galleries. You know what I'm saying? Like I just was going to the gallery and met the nigga like, oh shit. Right. Like, bro, I met you after 17 days of like posting about you, bro. Like this is the algorithm in real life. What the fuck?
Man, that is crazy.
So I don't be thinking about that shit. I just be genuinely like going outside and New York is one of those cities that shit just happened. Because if I lived in Arizona, none of this shit would be happening like that. Really, I mean, the weather be good and you be chilling, but you got to go to Scottsdale and you got to go to the club and pay. And then you see nigga and the nigga gonna probably disrespect you because he's like, you on my dick, nigga, move.
Well, Trey, I'll just say that I am going to go see Kendrick Lamar on Tuesday. Right.
Excellent show.
I feel sorry for anybody that's going to ask me how was the show. Because my story won't be nearly as interesting. It's going to be the fucking show. And then, dog, I had a couple drinks and went to the crib.
And I went home.
There will be no Hov and Beyonce in my story.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's the most funny thing because everybody's just been texting me like, nigga, Hov and Beyonce was there? And I'm like, yeah.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, like nigga, so was I, nigga. Get excited for me, nigga. I was in the building too, nigga.
It goes down in Brooklyn.
It goes down, man.
Just like Flatbush Misdemeanors. So in this episode, Uncle Drew discovers NFTs.
Oh my god, man!
Could you draw like on them apes with like some Tims and a fitted on?
Yo, that shit was the most realistic shit ever because niggas, when they found out about NFTs, especially last year, it was the funniest shit because they didn't get it and niggas was trying to bootleg the main shit to come up with their own shit. So the idea that Drew was trying to sell his shit for 300 grand was so fucking funny. But for him to pull up to the art school, like niggas is gonna stop what they doing to draw for him. And how do you decide what type of NFT? Like that you just want to create.
Nigga don't know what an NFT is, man.
Yeah,
He's
bro.
Just like,
that shit was
he just
so
heard
He
this.
said let's make them Drew FTs.
The Drew FT is fucking funny, dog. And then Blue being in the metaverse.
Yeah, just grabbing titties.
Grabbing titties in the metaverse, bro. That's some
girl,
horny
you a
ass
freak.
shit.
Yeah, Blue makes me laugh, man, because this nigga never moves off the couch. Y'all notice he's always on the couch, no matter what.
Hey,
I've never seen him do anything.
Yeah,
he's the most he's the most underrated character on there. Like his
Blue,
cameos, he don't do much, but for the small little spot that he got, that nigga be killing it.
Yeah, he be killing in his windows. Yeah. Meanwhile, well, what's my man? What's my man? Kev.
Kareem?
Yeah,
Kev.
you know,
Talking about Kev.
Yeah. Kev, they're doing the artwork for Zaina's play. And he said, man, fuck them kids. And then she's like, okay, R. Kelly is like, give me some credit. R. Kelly knew them kids. He knew they were. Oh man, this is so many one-liners there. Dan is on probation, or not on probation, is being evaluated.
Evaluated live.
Have you ever been had the live evaluation in your classroom?
Bro, that shit is the worst.
Do the kids act better or act worse or just act the same?
My nigga, I don't know if the kids be fucking knowing, but they act worse. And that was like I was telling Dan that shit. I said, bro, this shit is scary because it's a mirror. It's like true, nigga.
Right.
Like, you can have a whole Discord of teachers telling you about stories like this, right? So I liked how that nigga played it off. That was smooth. But like I've done classes where I've had like, I think it was like when I first got my teacher's license, they did a follow-up. And it was just somebody with a clipboard just And like you talking about somebody working over your shoulder. And then you know how like I've had my moments where I got mad at kids where I'm like, oh, you need to stop it. Yeah. In this moment, I'm like, that's okay. Like,
no.
It's like, and the shit is not okay.
Dan did the opposite, right?
Yeah,
with the kid that was making the jokes, right? And even when Zaina and Amaya were talking in the beginning, he's like, stop, be quiet, like, and that's like we never hear Dan talk like that to anybody, let alone to the kids. So I was just like, that's funny because I'm thinking like, are the kids, because they weren't really doing anything I think that was out of the ordinary, but to him, I'm sure it felt like y'all trying to fuck this up for me. Bro,
I had a student run with some scissors.
Damn, bro.
But they like the rubber ends, but I'm just like, still.
Yeah, it's a concept.
Why?
It's a concept. Yeah.
I'm like, why are you doing this right now? And I'm like on the ground because Montessori, we work on the rug. So I'm teaching the kids like da da da. And I look, and my assistant's like, no. And I'm like, oh, like, and the evaluator's just looking like, and you hear it, like, and I'm like, oh my god, like, how do I? And they want to see how I stop it.
You hear the pen like,
yep. Exactly. And I'm just so stressed to me because I'm like, you know when they finally leave because you got to walk them out and you're like, yeah. And then you get back in like, I'm gonna fucking beat y'all ass. Like, we ain't got no recess for 2 days. Y'all embarrassing me because we got company. Like, bro, I used to be hot, bro. I used to be so hot because they just try me. They would try me, bro. It was another a meme, I guess. I ended up tagging, the ape that slides in. He comes out that little hole and he comes and slides.
Yeah. I sent that shit to Tony Baker. I'm like, Tony, you need to do this shit, man.
So it's like when you have a substitute and the main teacher come back from break. You know what I'm saying? So I sent it to, so I tagged my assistant, who I used to be my assistant in there. And I was like, yo, this is what that shit used to be like when I come back from lunch. Cause you be losing control of the class. Like she'd be like, oh, they're not listening to me. And I come in like, you know what I'm saying? My hands on my hip. And niggas just stop like, I'm sorry, Mr. Edwards. And I'm like, it's not good enough. Who was it? Who was it? And then and I start writing the names on the board like mad sloppy, like no recess, no recess, no recess. Like, and it's so fucking funny. I remember I had one kid, bro. This nigga. I mean, I found out like he had some like learning disabilities a little later on. He got tested and stuff like that. But I used to put his name up. I'd be like, you don't have recess today. He'd be like, I don't care. So
shit.
I don't care. So he'd do some shit.
I don't cares.
Hey, and I would just put a check next to his name. And I said, we get to 3 checks, you're going to the principal's office. And I'm taking you. You know what I'm saying? But he'd be like, I don't care. Do it. Call my mom. Call my mom. And
damn.
4 years ago, this is when the Apple Watch, the kids had Apple Watches. They called their mom one time. And I was like, oh no, we can't have watches at school no more. Just because shit ain't going your way. She complained about me like this.
The kid
said I took away her recess.
What the mom said?
Oh, what? Went to the office, wanted me suspended.
What?
Why am I taking away kids' recess?
Dog,
There's other ways to connect. I'm just like, all right, man. Like, I don't know if there's some white shit or some black shit, but I don't know. And at that time, Jared Dudley's daughter was in my class too, so it used to be fucking funny as shit. Because I'd be like, okay. I remember Jared went on a field trip with me, and I was just like, bro, what we supposed to talk about right now? Like, I don't fucking know. And that's the reason why they put her in my class, because of this full circle moment about me not caring about celebrities. Like,
right.
Randy Johnson's daughter was in my class too, but I'm just like, nigga be sitting there all tall and shit doing the parent teacher conference, just letting the mom just ask all the questions, and nigga like, yup, all right, man, all right, shake my head, and I'm just like, yeah, nigga, I'm not no groupie, bro. Cool, you play for
yeah, I like the idea that this Trey was prepared for this moment, because once upon a time he said, "There go Darren Williams," and niggas said, "Stop acting like no groupie, nigga."
Yeah, could you imagine me fucking like Jared Dudley comes into class and I'm like, oh my god, nigga, I love the Suns. I really love the Suns.
That shit happened to me. I went to a friend's house for July 4th weekend, and like, it was cool, like I know her parents and shit, so we've always been cool, whatever. So at our parents' house, and so I walk in and I'm like, all right, I got like a case of Trulies or whatever, brought some stuff, and like one of the dudes there is like, oh my god, you're Amin Hassan from ESPN, and then like proceeds to ask me every sports question under the sun.
Oh my god. I can only imagine.
And I'm smiling. I'm being like, I'm trying to be polite and answering the questions. And I'm looking at my friend like, you set me up, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Definitely set you up.
But
yo, I mean, you made me think of every single time back in the day when you would make one of your remarks about the Lakers or Kobe or some shit like that. The amount of my friends that would text me and basically just cuss you out via me.
Yeah.
And I'd just be like, yo, what the fuck do you want me to do? Like, this is what he does. Like, I don't know. Stop listening. I don't understand. What do you want from me?
I thought you were gonna say like the amount of bouncers. They're like, hey man, why you always hitting on the Lakers? Oh, you know me, da da da. That's that was a golden era, man. When the Lakers are bad and Kobe was still playing, and I was in LA and Vegas, every single club, every bar, I get in anywhere. Because all they would take was a bouncer and be like, man, why you always hating on Kobe, man? Oh, nigga, da da da. I'd give them 15. I call it 15 minutes a show. I'll give them 15 minutes a show. They ask any question they want. That at the end of it, like, how many got with you? Oh, just me and these people right here. All right, go ahead, man. It was the ultimate cheat code. Never have those days back. All right, P Valley, real quick. I didn't even finish the episode, man. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. There's one episode left after this. I can't wait for this shit to be over. Look, what's the point here? Like, is the point that Mercedes lost her fastball? Is the point that the what's it called, my man, running for mayor with fucking stripper campaign ads and shit? Like,
yeah, it's a lot going on, man.
The mom's going down the street on the other mayor candidate. Yeah. She's going down the street on a stripper pole.
It was just, all of it was just like, what are we doing here, man? Because it's like, yeah, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, I think the best tweet I seen was Mercedes be walking around the pink like she LeBron year 20. She be so disgusted, my nigga, with the young chicks.
Hashtag like, wash king.
She's fucking washed, dog. Like, that shoulder knee icy hot, and the fact that she's 30, like, I think that's hilarious, dog. Like, I think she's just walking around just young OG.
Yeah, when she threw her bag at Uncle Clifford, thought about like, I should have been retired 5 years ago. I was like, yeah, maybe. Oh man. And then the woman that was married to the coach did a whole art exhibit. I don't know when this happened. I must have missed that she's an artist.
Did she not get bread off of that? Well, she did take pictures. I do remember the episode where she took pictures of her. But like Mercedes doesn't get any bread off of this?
I don't know.
So no. She just was, once you get a clearance, bro, niggas can use you. You know what I mean? But
that's crazy.
Yeah, no. She was looking at some shit and was like, who did it? And she's like, me. And then when she actually let her take the pictures of her, coach was like, man, she ain't no photographer. You know what I'm saying? Like he basically
I remember he was hitting.
Yeah.
So coach was a dick.
So basically that fuck up basically allowed her to reach her dreams thanks to Mercedes. You know what I'm saying? So
she did the big chop too. So I guess that was the big transition. She cut all her hair off.
So murder out here living his raps.
What happened? Did he murder again?
Well, no, I'm just talking about just in general, just him just actually using the chopper. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was gonna say, man. Like fucking, ain't nothing cornier than casting a rapper to play a fictional rapper, but then the fictional rapper performs the real rapper's song on stage. Why?
She used her government name, right?
Tina Snow, that's her name.
I don't know.
I think that's her name.
No, I think that's an alias, but
no. I don't know. Whatever.
Megan Thee Stallion plays Tina Snow.
Yeah,
right.
But she called herself Tina Snow too, though.
Oh, does she? But like that's that's the name of her character in the thing.
Yeah,
it's a rapper called Tina Snow from Houston, and then she started rapping her on raps. I'm like, just be Megan Thee Stallion, man.
Her rap name is, her real name is Megan Jovan Ruth Pete.
It's an ugly.
Oh wow,
it's a long name. That's very southern. Jovan Ruth Pete.
Jovan Ruth Pete. I'm gonna go to Ruth Pete.
Yeah, Ruth Pete.
That would be a nice ass. That would be a nice ass restaurant in the South.
Ruth Pete.
Mm-hmm. Taking you to Ruth Pete.
They got the best pie, right? Like you gotta try a peach cobbler. It's the best. This side of 51 or whatever. They would be describing shit by highways and stuff.
You want to go to Ruth Pete? Yeah, murder. Talking about he felt like a deer up on the stage. The niggas rushed him. The gang violence is, going up a little bit.
But I'm like, how could y'all foreshadow it? Not foreshadow, even like just tip your head even more. When it's a whole line of niggas outside from the other gang, all in colors.
Like it wasn't gonna happen.
And my man Diamond said, all right, don't start no shit. I'm like, what? That's it. They already at capacity.
I like how Diamond is just fucking forearm shivering niggas with the machine gun. He ain't use it one bit. He's just in there like, watch out, nigga. And Mississippi over there on the floor having a motherfucking anxiety attack. See that motherfucking lose.
Let me reiterate one more time. The dumbest shit in the world is the whole spelling out Mississippi.
M-I, crooked letter I,
humpback.
It's on the crooked letter. It's M-I, crooked letter I, crooked letter I, humpback I.
Oh yeah.
It's so fucking long, and
that's a long ass chant. Uncle Clifford had a new hairstyle. Good for Uncle Clifford, man.
Are we?
Yeah, go. No, Jerv.
We're
not gonna address it. We're not gonna address it. We're not gonna.
Okay.
I'm done. I've made my feelings. All right, let's call it a show right here. All right, thank you, Jerv. Thank you, Trey, especially for sharing that stuff in the beginning. That was big time. I think people need to hear that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Again, patreon.com/countthethings. Make sure you're subscribed. Overflow's coming. Sorry about last week. It was just kind of crazy. Trey was on the run, and I was on the run, and so we'll be back tomorrow. We'll review the last 2 episodes of Westworld, which I gotta say, I'm back in now. I thought they had lost me forever, and I was just watching this shit. I can't wait for this season to be over. I'm never doing this again, and I'm back in. So hear my thoughts on Westworld tomorrow. We got some more stuff coming out. Man, there's some Showtime and Netflix stuff that's coming out soon. We'll talk about that as well. Till next time, stay black, motherfuckers.